Hello students, welcome back to Effortless Chemistry. Already we have started group 17 of the P block element, and now we will continue the remaining part, that is physical properties of group 17 elements. Physical properties. First we will discuss the physical states of all these elements. Here fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. First two members, fluorine and chlorine, these two are gas, and this bromine is a fuming liquid. Bromine is a fuming liquid. Iodine is a volatile solid. You can observe here down the group what happens here. The physical state of the element is changing here from gas to liquid and liquid to solid. So this can be explained on the basis of what? Down the group atomic size increases. Fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. With increase in the atomic size, van der Waals force of attraction increases, and hence van der Waals force of attraction increases means that physical state changes from that gas to liquid and liquid to solid here. Down the group van der Waals forces increases with increase in size of atom, hence there is a change in physical states from gas to solid. And again, if you go for melting and boiling point, next point, melting point and boiling point increases down the group with increase in size of atom. Again, the same reason you can give. As the size of the atom increases, van der Waals force of attraction increases. As the force of attraction between them increases, what happens? Their melting and boiling point increases here. And the most important point is all the halogens are colored in nature. All halogens are colored. For example, if you take fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine, fluorine has yellow color, this chlorine has, that is a mixed color, greenish yellow color, bromine has reddish brown color, and this iodine, it has violet color. Okay, all the halogens, these are colored in nature. The reason for the color of this halogens is because of they will absorb energy from the visible region. Whenever that white light falls on the halogen, they will absorb the particular frequency of the white light, and hence they appear to be colored here. Any substance that absorbs energy or the radiation from the visible light, they appear to be what? Colored here. For example, if I take this fluorine, whenever that white light is passed through the fluorine, or which is made up of 7 colors here, and it will absorb particular frequency of the white light, and this fluorine, it appears to be yellow color. The color that is observed, the color that appears, this is complementary to that of the absorbed color. So whenever that white light is passed through the fluorine, it absorbs violet color light. Absorbed color is different and appearing color is different. Appearing color is what? The color that appears is complementary to that of absorbed color. Always keep in mind, absorbed color is different and that appears, that colors is different here. So this is complementary to that of what? Violet color. If you go for iodine, iodine appears to be violet, and whenever white light is passed through the iodine, it absorbs yellow color light. So violet color is what? Complementary to that of what? Yellow color. So in this way, the color that appears is what? Complementary to that of the absorbed color here. So this complementary color can be identified by using that Munchen's color wheel, that is I will call it as Vibgyor color, like this. Suppose a substance absorbs violet color, it appears to be yellow, absorbs yellow color, appears to be violet. Similarly, orange and blue are complementary to each other, red and green are what? Complementary to each other. Here opposite colors are complementary to each other. You see here, fluorine absorbs violet color, appears to be yellow, and iodine absorbs what? Yellow color and appears to be violet color. Suppose if it is having a mixed color like greenish yellow, that mixed wavelengths are absorbed from the visible light and it appears to be mixed color. So this is what the reason for the color of the halogens. The color of halogen is due to absorption of light from the visible region, nothing but the radiation from the visible region, which results in the excitation of the outermost electron, and that emits what? Particular color. That appearing color is what? That is complementary to that of absorbed color, and this one we call it as Munsell color wheel. This is Munsell's color wheel. From this one you can identify the complementary colors here. We will write the color of the halogens. Always you keep in mind that color is because of what? Absorption of energy from the visible region, so that the outermost electron in the halogen atom, that is excited. Another important point you can note here, down the group, if you come from fluorine to iodine, the amount of energy required to excite the electron decreases here. Suppose if you go for fluorine, small size atom, and iodine is what? Large size atom. Here electrons are far away from the nucleus, force of attraction is less, and here electrons are very close to the nucleus, force of attraction is more. So in order to excite the electron of the fluorine, highest amount of energy is required. So if you pass white light, what happens here? Vibgyor is passed through the fluorine sample. It absorbs highest energy. Violet color is absorbed, so that it requires more amount of energy to excite the electron. Then it appears to be what here? Yellow color. If you go for iodine, whenever white light, that is Vibgyor, is passed through this iodine sample, it absorbs lowest energy, that is yellow color, and then it appears to be what? Violet color. So down the group, what happens? The amount of energy required to excite the electron decreases here. Next point I will write, color of halogens is due to absorption of energy from visible region, which results in excitation of outermost electron, hence they appear to be what? Colored. Next point in this one, right, the color that appears is complementary to that of absorbed color. So what happens? By absorbing a different quantum of radiation from the visible region, they will display different colors here. This is about the color of these halogens. Next point, we'll go for metallic nature. So already we know that metallic nature, what happens in case of group 17. If you go for left hand side of the periodic table, large size elements are present. They readily lose electron to form a unipositive or dipositive cation, hence they are electropositive in nature. And the metallic nature is also decided by ionization energy. Metals are having low ionization energy because they will lose electrons readily, hence they are metallic in nature. So that we will write non-metallic nature here, non-metallic nature of these group 17 elements, because metals are what? Larger size, they are electropositive in nature, and non-metals are what? Small size, and they are electronegative in nature. In this one, metals are having what? Metals are highly electropositive and they are having low ionization energy, and this is what characteristic of what? Metals. But if you go for these group 17 elements, these are highly electronegative and they are having high ionization energy. Ionization energy is maximum for that one. So this is what characteristic of what? Non-metals. Hence these group 17 elements are what? These are highly reactive non-metallic elements in the periodic table. So you can write group 17 elements are highly reactive non-metallic elements. So now we will see here, that is bond length, bond energy, and stability of XX bond here. XX is nothing but both are halogens here. Suppose if you go for fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, down the group atomic size is increasing, we know this one. With increase in the size of the atom, down the group bond length also increases. Suppose if I take a bond between the fluorine molecule, this is FF bond length, and CL bond length, and bond length of this is a bromine molecule, and this is a bond length of iodine molecule. So what happens? Down the group, with increase in the size of the atom, bond length also increases. As bond length increases, what happens? Bond energy decreases here. Since this fluorine is having a small size, and because of its small bond length, the bond energy of the fluorine molecule must be highest here. But the bond energy of the fluorine is less than that of chlorine and bromine molecule. The reason for this one is, in case of fluorine molecule, the non-bonding electrons of the fluorine, they are very close to each other. Because of high interelectronic repulsion among the non-bonding electrons of the fluorine, this FF bond become weaker than the Cl2 and Br2 bond here. Hence what happens? Since it become weaker, its bond energy decreases here. That's why we will write the order of bond length. Order of bond length is same, that is F2 smaller than Cl2 smaller than Br2, which is smaller than I2 here. Down the group bond length is increasing. But if you go for the bond energy order, this FF bond is being weaker, its bond energy become less than the chlorine and bromine molecule. So first comes Cl2 greater than Br2, then comes fluorine, then comes iodine. So what is the reason for this lower bond energy of this fluorine molecule than that of chlorine and bromine? Due to the high interelectronic repulsion among the non-bonding electrons of fluorine, this FF bond become weaker, hence its bond energy is less than that of what? Chlorine and bromine here. We will write one point here, that is due to high interelectronic repulsion among non-bonding electrons, non-bonding electrons of 2p orbital of fluorine atom FF bond is weaker than Cl bond here. Okay, because of this lower bond energy of fluorine molecule, this fluorine is highly reactive element in the group 17. So the high reactivity of fluorine is what? Due to its lower bond dissociation energy, so that this bond can be easily broken and it is highly reactive. In case of group 17, almost all reactions of fluorine are exothermic in nature, but remaining elements also some are exothermic are there, but for fluorine almost all reactions of fluorine are what? They are highly exothermic and it is highly reactive element in the group 17 element. So this is what the order and bond length of the FF or Cl or bromine or iodine molecule here. So bond energy increase means bond energy order is nothing but what? Order of the stability. Also you can write bond energy as well as order of the stability. Next point is due to lower value of bond energy of FF bond, fluorine is highly reactive among group 17 elements. Almost all reactions of fluorine are exothermic. Exothermic is nothing but delta H value is what? Always negative it is. So the next point is oxidation states. Oxidation states of these halogens. Already we know that in case of halogen, how many valence electrons are there? Ns2 np5. Already they are having 7 valence electron in their valence shell. So in order to complete the octet, they have two possibilities. That is, they have to gain an electron, that they will show -1 oxidation state to complete the octet configuration, or to achieve the nearest noble gas configuration. Another possibility is they have to lose all the electrons present in the valence shell. They show +7 oxidation state, so they will achieve what? Nearest noble gas configuration. So in this, the electron gaining tendency is maximum for the small size atom and losing tendency is maximum for what? Large size atom here. Now we will go for the first element, that is a fluorine. The electronic configuration of fluorine is what here? This is a 2s2. The valence shell configuration I will write, and this is a 2p5 here. In this one, 2s2, this is a 2px2, 2py2, and this is 2pz1. It is having only one unpaired electron, and this fluorine being a highly electronegative element in the periodic table, highest electronegative element in the periodic table, it will never show positive oxidation state. Always its oxidation state is what? -1 only. It will readily gain an electron to complete the octet configuration. So readily gain 1 electron. So whenever it gains an electron, its oxidation state is what? Always -1 in the periodic table. Always you keep in mind. So this is the first possibility. Next, if you go for the remaining elements like chlorine or bromine or iodine, again we will write the valence shell configuration of these elements. All are having again same number of valence electrons. Like in case of fluorine, they are also having 7 electrons in their valence shell. Again, one unpaired electron is there. They may gain an electron to complete the octet configuration, or they may share this odd electron to form a covalent bond here. they will gain one electron, or to form a covalent bond share one electron. Whenever they will gain an electron or share electron, the oxidation state will be what? There are two possibilities in this one. They will what? They will form a single covalent bond whenever one unpaired electron is there. It may be by gaining another electron or by sharing of one electron. So in the ground state, this is called as what? Ground state configuration of this halogen. In the ground state, they have two possibility. They may show -1 oxidation state or +1 oxidation state. With the more electronegative element, they will show +1 oxidation state. With the less electronegative element, they will show what? -1 oxidation state. For example, if I write the reaction between H and Cl, chlorine is more electronegative, so it will show -1, hydrogen will be +1. Suppose if I take the reaction between chlorine and fluorine, ClF, if I write, fluorine is more electronegative as compared to chlorine, so chlorine is +1 and fluorine is -1. Or else you can write Cl2O here, oxygen is -2, each fluorine is what? +1, because chlorine is less electronegative than the oxygen here. Oxygen is more electronegative. With more electronegative element, they will show what? Positive oxidation state, that is +1. With less electronegative element, they will show what? -1 oxidation state. So they can form NaCl also. This is -1 and this is what? +1. They will readily gain an electron from the sodium. So this is what? The ground state configuration. They will show what? In the ground state, they may show -1 or +1 based on the other element which is electronegative or positive. Based on that, they will show this one. So we will write the next possibility. Now the remaining elements, they are having what? Vacant d orbital also, that chlorine, bromine and iodine. Since they are belonging to the third period, they are having vacant d orbital also. Because of that, they will show excited state. This is like this. Okay, this is I have written here 2s and these are 2p orbital, and this is what? 3s 3p, again it is 3s 3p. Here 3d vacant orbitals are present here. You can write 3d vacant orbital, 1 2 3 4 5 orbitals are there. Now what happens here? So we have written 7 valence electron. One of the electron from the 3p is excited to the 3d. In the first excited state, I will call it as, in the first excited state, they are having 3 unpaired electrons. So always you keep in mind, whenever you excite an electron in case of halogen, always they will show positive oxidation state. +3 is only possible, -3 is not possible in the excited state. Always you keep in mind. So whenever they show excited state, in the excited state, the other atom must be more electronegative than the halogen atom which you are going to react here. So in the first excited state, always they will show what? +3 oxidation state only. For example, you can write ClEF3. The surrounding atom is more electronegative than central atom. If I take chlorine, chlorine is electropositive and fluorine is electronegative, then it will show what? +3 oxidation state. Next you can go for HClO2. Here also its oxidation state is +3. You can take BrEF3. Bromine shows +3 oxidation state. So that whenever they show excited state, they are showing what? Positive oxidation state only. This is first excited state, +3 oxidation state. Now you can excite another electron of 3p orbital to the 3d orbital, so that you can have 5 unpaired electron also. That is the second excited state of the halogen atom. Here 2 electrons are as it is in case of 3s orbital. 1 2 3. So 1 2 3 4 5 are there. 1 2 3 4 5 d orbitals are there. In this case, what happens? Already in the first excited state, we have excited 1 electron to the 3d orbital. Now we will excite another electron of 3p to the 3d orbital. Now they are having 5 unpaired electrons. They are able to form 5 bonds. Whenever they are able to form the 5 bonds, again this is a second excited state where 2 electrons are excited to the 3d orbital. So here what happens? Always they will show +5 oxidation state. Example, you can write ClF5. In this one, chlorine is +5 oxidation state, or you can write HClO4 or O3. You can write HClO3. In this one, chlorine is +5 oxidation state. You can take iodine also, IF5 you can write. In case of IF5, iodine is +5 oxidation state. All these halogens in the excited state, they will show what? Only plus oxidation state. That surrounding atom must be electronegative here. Now you can excite this electron also to the 3d orbital, so that you can have 7 unpaired electrons in the valence shell like this. In the 3d orbital also you will get 3 electrons. So total 7 unpaired electrons are there in the excited state. It is called as third excited state. In the third excited state, always they will show what? +7 oxidation state. So in this +7 oxidation state, you can show IF7. This is +7 oxidation state. HClO4, chlorine shows +7 oxidation state. Okay. So always one point you have to make it clear. In case of halogen, always fluorine shows -1 oxidation state because of its high electronegativity, and the remaining elements, due to presence of the vacant d orbital, they will show excited state, and they are able to show -1 oxidation state also, +1, +3, +5 and +7. So the common oxidation states of these halogens we can write. In case of halogen, we will take most commonly encountered element is chlorine. The common oxidation state will be -1, +1, +3, +5 and +7. These are the common oxidation states of group 17 elements. Okay, this is what. Apart from this chlorine and bromine, they will show +4 and +6 oxidation in some of the oxides. We will discuss that in the oxides. This is about the oxidation state of group 17 elements.